everyone, welcome to Icons Behind Brand, and this is Devleena, your host for today. We are here with another exciting episode of Iconic Ads with Devleena and Saurabh. And with me, I have my expert co-host, Mr. Saurabh Bajaj. Hi, Saurabh.
Hello. Hi.
To
Good to be here
IVB.
again.
Yeah. And we are here to speak about another exciting and iconic campaign today. And I have a guest, Vani Gupta, who is an independent business consultant at Cherry Peachplum Growth Partners. So, Vani, warm welcome to you.
Hi,
Thank
Vani.
you. Thank you. Lovely being here.
Same here, Vani, and I'm so excited to talk about the campaign. So, let me start the
दुनिया में शाइन करने की शुरुआत शॉर्टकट से नहीं, कड़ी मेहनत से होती है।
मिस यूनिवर्स हरना संधू।
इसीलिए मेरी ब्यूटी रेजिम में भी नो शॉर्टकट्स। नेचर्स एसेंस ग्लोइंग गोल्ड फेशियल। इसका स्टेप बाय स्टेप प्रोसेस दे मेरी स्किन को असली ग्लो। असली ग्लो के लिए सिर्फ नेचर्स एसेंस ग्लोइंग गोल्ड फेशियल।
So you see in this film, we've deployed the reverse technique. And that is just a clutter breaking device. But that reverse technique, those shots actually took up the entire day. We were fretting at 8 o'clock in the evening, thinking, oh, the bulk of the film to abhi shoot hi nahi kari, these 8 seconds have taken till 8 p.m. And she was threatening to walk off the sets because it was time up as per the contract. So all of us women were fretting on the sets of how do we keep her and get the rest of the film out. So those are all the joys of shooting. So I think the insight on this film was very delicately managed in a way that we were able to appropriate the category high ground on what beauty regimen, for the true beauty regimen for an Indian girl is truly about. And at the same time, we were able to hit out at the so-called shortcuts without explicitly talking about the sheet masks and the peel-off masks or even the other home remedies, which are considered the shortcuts to beauty. And we use this beauty icon, the biggest possible in beauty, in Harna's Sandhu. The other thing which I think worked brilliantly for the brand and from a marketing perspective is that it's a 25-second. I can't tell you how many conversations we had with the director, where the director is looking at this as a piece of art, and repeatedly the film would get pulled to 45 seconds, and then we'd fight and we'd say, nahi, hum nahi shoot karenge. We will not even shoot 45 seconds and then make an edit of 25 seconds. It doesn't work like that. A 25-seconder has to be conceived and written as a 25-seconder and has to be shot to make it a 25. You can't make a 45-seconder and then cut it down to 25 seconds and say, chalo ab ye use kar lete. Fundamentally the films are conceived differently. So we fought for this, that this 25-second is going to be written and it has to be planned to be a 25-seconder only. So much so that even the director's cut was not eventually made. The director was very, very keen that he do his own cut, which is a longer film, or wo bani nahi, because he was so adamant as the client and I was in particular, because the fact is that in today's media clutter, you have to, secondage is very, very critical to be able to A, manage media monies, and B, also be able to grab the consumer's attention. So it's a very hardworking 25-seconder. It's got all of the beauty cues, and we've been able to bring alive the insight. And I think we've been able to do with Nature's Essence, a brand that at one time felt very fuddy-duddy. We've been able to significantly raise what this brand looks like now with this film and everything that we've rolled out.
See, when it comes to this category, the one brand which typically comes to my mind is the Femme Gold face wash, which typically tends to play during the marriage season only. So is that like a bit of a category generic? Are they one of the bigger spenders? And was that also
face wash, you can't fool a consumer. I mean, Devleena would know a face wash is a face wash. वो है तो साबुन ही ना. It's a rinse off. That women are not as dumb, but there is something about gold. There is this obsession about gold in this country. Like even my mother sent me a VLCC gold face wash, saying, look, it has real pieces of gold. I said, Mummy, come on, don't be funny. But there is this obsession about gold.
Gold has a legacy, I mean, gold facial is important. There is
Exactly. Exactly. So in our consumer research, Devleena, girls would actually say this, that इसमें जो gold है, so the
Oh my.
gold facial
24
sells the most.
carat.
हाँ, that ये जो gold है, इसका सुनहरापन मेरे त्वचा में समा जाता है. They actually
Now we're
believe
talking.
that this gold has penetrated my skin, and that is how my skin is glowing the way it is glowing. It's so yeah, you're right. Even in this, which is why it's all the gold, a whole lot of gold cues, and you see even in the branding, the treatment of the green and the gold, and that had to be very delicately managed. It can't become overly green. It can't become overly gold. In to manage what the visual identity of the brand is like, we were constantly looking at shots, every shot, and we were looking at what is the correct percentage of gold and green and everything. If you see in the way it's been, what she's wearing, there was this in the reverse shot. There is a shot where there's this girl, blows out a whole lot of pieces of gold, like gold confetti, and there's gold confetti when her award is announced, title is announced, and all of that. So if you minutely see this film, when we were at the sets, all of this was, and again, even in the back work, while we moved very quickly, when we were having our PPMs, the PPMs themselves were very, very animated discussions. We had 3 PPMs for this film, where we were repeatedly looking at shot by shot, and we were all discussing in this shot what we're going to do, how much branding are we going to achieve shot by shot, and what would be the relative play between the role of Harnas Sandhu and the brand. So that's another thing, in this film, a very critical discussion that we had was the fact that Harnas Sandhu should serve the brand's objective, that the brand must be the hero and not the other way around, because there was a very easy risk of us, making an ad where we made Harnas Sandhu bigger, and the brand played a secondary role. And that's typically the risk with most ads that use celebrities. You remember the celebrity, you remember the story, but you don't remember the brand. So there were multiple scripts that were discussed and that were binned, and we agreed on this treatment, which I think does great justice to what the brand is about. It does great justice to what the functional delivery of the brand is about.
From a marketer's lens, from the marketing strategy, I think the most difficult question that we typically need to ask ourselves is that what's the brand task? So is the brand task to regenerate the category itself? Is it to make us synonymous with, say, weddings and then own that? Is it about stealing share from a competition within the same category? Or is it about stealing share from somebody outside the category? So in this case, you guys went with somebody who's slightly outside the category, which is the face mask, right? So
you're right. But you see, this is also a home use kit. It's not this is not only a parlor use product. This is also a home use kit. आप इसको 100 रुपए का दुकान से खरीद सकते हो और आप फेशियल घर में कर सकते हो. So which is why it is not competing outside the category, क्योंकि आप 100 रुपए में वो शीट मास्क भी खरीद सकते हो दुकान से. So what you choose to buy is up to you. Both are making the same claim. Now one happens to be false, the other is more true. So which one do you choose? And we're sensitizing the consumer to the fact that this is the original gold standard on achieving the right beauty, achieving the right kind of beauty. This is the only regimen that you should choose. And we're making it clear without belaboring the process. While we've shown the step by step, we are saying that don't go for shortcuts, because it's not shortcuts that gets you to the Miss Universe stage. It is hard work and labor, and we are drawing the parallel with Nature's Essence. So we're encouraging women to choose Nature's Essence versus shortcuts. So in this case, we're stealing share from a subcategory that has suddenly sprung up, and that in media has dominant share, because the likes of Levers, is pumping shitloads of money into that sheet mask, and you order anything on Nykaa, uske saath koi, and most stuff, many times I've ordered stuff from Nykaa, uske saath ek free sheet mask aa jata hai. So it's become very, very common now. So our objective was to steal share from there while helping the consumer reappraise the brand. Nature's is not, acha, last resort, aapke paas paise nahi to aap Nature's kara lo. No, Nature's is what Miss Universe uses.
Right. This point you have made earlier also about the brand versus the celebrity. And, from a metric standpoint, one of the ways that we measure it in dipsticks is to see the brand cut through versus the creative cut through.
Yes.
If the branded cut through is say 70%
Correct.
of the creative cut through, we typically feel
Correct.
we're in a good place, right?
Correct.
So what are some of the learnings that you have had through your career to ensure that the branded cut through really comes out on top? Is there any simple tricks and trips which you've done, because you've worked with a lot of celebrity-led advertising where this is always the problem, right? So what are the top 2 or 3 things that you keep in mind when you are, say, on a shoot or to ensure that the branded cut-through comes up right?
So branded cut-through is not just about pasting the logo, like I was saying. Branded cut-through is about making sure that you have a consistent visual grammar, a consistent, language in the way your brand delivers the message, a consistent tonality. A lot of times as marketers, we are very taken in by these scripts that come from creative, which are beautiful long stories, and then there is just the logo plastered at the end. In my view, that doesn't work at all. I'm not a fan of that format of advertising. There's a soppy story, and then there is the brand plastered at the end, or the product makes a by the way appearance, and we say, it just doesn't work. The brand has to be a part of the story, an integral part of the story, where you can't separate the brand from the story at all. In order to deliver the story, the brand has to be a part of the story, like it's the hero of the story, not supporting cast, but it's the hero of the story. So this is, you're absolutely right. There are enough number of films where you see, हमें story याद है, उसमें ऋतिक रोशन बड़ा अच्छा लग रहा था, या आलिया भट्ट कितनी cute लग रही थी, पर brand नहीं याद आ रहा. That is a case that you certainly don't want happening, because then you just made the celebrity bigger and you spent shitloads of money and you haven't achieved what you wanted to achieve as a brand. You haven't helped the business at all. You may well be standing on stage yourself and be winning awards because people are saying, oh, what a lovely ad, but nobody remembers the brand. And certainly people who are handing out awards are not the ones who are buying the product. So one has to be careful about using the celebrity in a way. So I think one of the ads that comes to my mind is what Hyundai did with Shah Rukh Khan when Hyundai had just come to India, where Shah Rukh Khan is actually talking about isko pronounce kaise karte hain, kya Korean hai, now there you can't separate the ad from the brand, kyunki wo without mentioning the brand wo story aap narrate hi nahi kar sakte. That's intelligent use of a celebrity. Too often we see that there is just no link. I mean, there's a celebrity standing like that on a hoarding, or like that on a hoarding, or there are these typical poses, or like that on a hoarding, and there is, it could be a cement bag, it could be a cigarette, it could be a chutney, it could be anything. There is just no link between the celebrity and the product.
Got it. And in this ad, is there anything with regards to a post-launch research or business impact or numbers, anything that you had on?
It's only just gone on air. We went on air end May. So now today we're on 9th July. So it's still too early. But we've put a track in place. We did a post research, and the consumer speak that we've got is phenomenal. It's given us a lot of hope. We're tracking the sales numbers. It's still too early. A lot of the stuff, collaterals, etc., in the market are being rolled out because it's like any other FMCG product. And the true success metric will also be on the number of home kits that we're able to sell. So we're going to the retail space in a big way now, which wasn't the case earlier. It's literally a relaunch of the home use kit, which is all of $100, in which you get, 5 different tubes. and you can use this do the full facial at home. So
Got it.
let's see how that.
Cool.
But
So,
I'm
I'm
quite
mostly done from my end. Devleena, anything from yours?
I think we have covered enough. Such an amazing conversation. Yeah. So, Saurabh, I'm just curious to know about the key takeaways and learnings from this particular conversation for our viewers.
Great. So nature's essence. Now it's not a category that all of us really care very deeply about, because it's like a subcategory in a subcategory. In the category of face washes, which can be done in so many other ways, and you got something which you got a ritual to it. Right. Now, in this kind of a category, these are tough categories because you need to have a lot of clarity of your marketing strategy. And here, I think the top three learnings are the three pieces of clarity that they have. The first big piece of clarity that they had is the fact that who is my source of business? My source of business is mass at the same price of $100, and they are more convenient, right? So how do you fight this battle? And one of the old age, principles of marketing is take your weakness, make it your strength. So what is the weakness? The weakness is the fact that it's a tedious four-step process. So make it into your strength. Choose us because of the tedious four-step process, because only then you know it is really going to work for you. Yeah. So that I think was the first learning. Take your weakness, make it into your strength, and you can steal from your point of your competitor. Yeah. The second piece is, okay, you've got a proposition. The proposition is that, if you the four-step process is why it works better. Now, how do you make it credible? To make it credible, sometimes the role of a celebrity can be very powerful, and getting in a recently winning, Miss India is great because you know that it's not an easy path. You got to struggle and get there. So when she says, I don't take any shortcuts, I take the harder way out, it correlates with her life. It's in vogue, it's in trend, and also the product has got a very relevant role to play there because the product is also hard to use. You got to use a ritual. So I would say beautiful collision of the celebrity and building credibility through a powerful proposition. The last is for any new brand. You cannot do vanity making a ad. You can't spend all your money making a large piece of creative and then not have the money to air it. So hence, I like the clarity that that the team had, saying that, we can only run a 25-seconder. It's a complicated message. It's not a very easy message. So I have to have a film crafted for a 25-second and not the other way around. I'm not going to make a 60-second master and try to strip it down because that doesn't work. So I would say the brilliant marketing thought clarity that the team had, which is I'm going to make short edits, I'm going to build in credibility, I'm going to have a tight source of business, is what makes this a good marketing case study in three simple learnings for marketeers to really follow.
Superb. Superb. I think, and my favorite was, convert your weakness to strength. And I think it's not for marketer. We as a human beings, it is applicable for life as well. So
Right.
these are powerful. Thank you so much for sharing these powerful takeaways and key learnings for us and for our viewers. Saurabh.
Great, Devleena. Absolutely a pleasure. Looking forward to next week.
Same here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for our viewers and listeners for patiently listening to us.
Cool.